Texas A&M at South Carolina. This is off a lot of your radars. It shouldn't be. Very juicy, very interesting. Ton of subplots for the storyline crowd out there. Does this have to be it for Texas A&M? And by it, I mean the click moment, the inflection point, sort of the scalability of the offense, if it's ever going to happen. Isn't this kind of when it has to happen? This is the spot, coming off the bye week, where I was told anything that can be done to this offense, any improvement you could see, it'll come out of the bye week. Well, you got South Carolina on a 3-game win streak. You got A&M on a 2-game losing streak. It is egregious beyond the point of believability the last time A&M played a home game. And this one's on the road too. Quiz for everyone out there. When is the last time Texas A&M played a home game? Answer, it was the Miami game. Remember that? Feels like 3 years ago? Yes, friends. That was on September 17th. It is now October 20th. This game happens on the 22nd. They don't play another home game until the 29th of October. So they're going from September 17th to October 29th without playing a game in Kyle Field. Crime against college football, but I digress. A&M's offense, points per game, lowest in the SEC, yards per game, 20-plus yard plays offensively. It's all, you know the story. It's the lowest in the SEC. That kind of stuff scares some people away, and I know why it does. But here's the thing. When you come out of the bye week and you've had a little time to self-scout and to reassess, any change you could possibly make, you've made. And the reason I say that is because those stats indicate there is no motivation, there's no incentive to maintain status quo. So I don't know what I'm going to get from A&M, but the last thing I expect to get from them is exactly what was producing those results. Now, there's a lot of whispering in and around Aggie football. We may see Connor Wegman this week. That's the true freshman quarterback. We had Jimbo on the show back for National Signing Day, and he said, we think he's the best in the country, and that includes Quinn Ewers. That's why we didn't pursue Quinn Ewers. That's what Jimbo said. He has not backed off that. And I know they've got a ton of confidence in him. Is this where we're going to see him? And what could make that difficult is, number one, this is a really tough place to play on the road. But number two, you could have injuries along the offensive line. So keep an eye on that. It doesn't have to be he starts and plays all 70 plays. It could be that you get a start by Haynes King. You get a package for Connor Wegman. I don't know if we're going to see him at all. I'm just saying it's as on the radar of possibilities as we've seen all year. A&M has not scored more than 24 in any of these games, except for the Sam Houston game, I think. So that's the argument I'm seeing a lot. For people picking South Carolina, they're saying, I'm picking South Carolina because A&M hasn't topped 24 points in any of these games. And I'm like, are you going to top 24 points in this game? Because that's only one part of the equation. If A&M scores 20 but you score 10, well, guess what that means? That means a win for them and a loss for you. So I'm trying to figure out on both ends, in a game where the total is 44.5, that's like a late NFL preseason total. I'm trying to figure out where this offense is going to come from. And it really comes down to me, to what kind of run game am I going to get from South Carolina? You can't let them stone you to the point where you're relying on Spencer Rattler to throw your way to victory. Can't have that, okay? So first and foremost, I got to have South Carolina establish at least somewhat of a run game here. Because here's the other thing I worry about. I mean, I've given serious consideration both ways. I changed my pick like 5 times on this game today. South Carolina turns the ball over, man. They've done it every game. A&M's had some games where they've done it, but South Carolina's done it more consistently, and that's a bad kind of consistency. That's the kind you don't want. Nighttime at Williams-Brice matters. Sold out. That fan base continues to do their part, and I credit them. So Williams-Brice Stadium, said it before and I've said it again, the most underrated night venue in college football. A&M's used to it though. They've been to several of these big environments already. And this collection, they played in Bryant-Denny Stadium at night 2 weeks ago. So I don't think that if they lose, it's going to be because it's a shock to the senses that the environment takes on them. Let's take a look at what the line is. It's A&M -3. Here's what the model thinks. It's shorter. It likes A&M -1. It essentially says the game is a toss-up. That's also the model saying, may lean South Carolina situationally a little bit. Now, we've got A&M power rated higher than South Carolina, but the model's taking situational dynamics and potential injury into account. And it actually, in this little moment in time, may even, well, actually it wouldn't because South Carolina's at home. Colin, I almost am tempted to tell you to cut the last 20 seconds out of this show when we post it. I went back and forth all day on this. Here's where I default. I default to Texas A&M. I have no confidence in this whatsoever. I could change my mind before I leave the parking lot tonight. I just think that there's this version of them. It's not leaps and bounds better than what we've seen. That doesn't exist this year. But I think there's a version of them good enough. And when they played in this game last year, they smoked South Carolina. And I know that doesn't always carry over, but it's just a little bit too hard for me to envision this matchup totally getting flipped on its ear over the span of one calendar year. So with the least confidence possible, I'm taking A&M and fully expect to be hurt. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Make sure you like the video and please subscribe to the channel. Not just for me, that's how we keep this entire thing free.